Hey, how are you? It's Dave here again. Great to have you join me for this little lesson on out there sweep picking lick. Okay, because that's kind of what I'm doing here. This particular thing was birthed from an exercise that I was just doing that I made up really to help me work on the turning around of my playing when I was sweep picking. Because, you know, with sweep picking, okay, you're moving in one direction, that's fine, but when you turn around and come back, you have to keep it really tight, especially at high speed. Otherwise you lose synchronization between your left and right hand, and then all you get is muted notes or noise or whatever. So I was doing this very, very simple thing. It went in essence, it's very, very straightforward. On the high E string, I'm doing an F sharp. On the B string, I'm doing a D. On the G string, I'm doing an A, and then I'm sliding that A down, and I'm going back in the opposite direction. Okay, that's where it all started. Well, then I started doing this. Okay, so and there's really very little difference between the two, except that I start with my second finger on the G, go to, so I'm starting with a downstroke with my pick, then going upstroke on the upstroke on the F sharp, upstroke on the D, upstroke on the A, downstroke on the G sharp, so forth. So I was starting with that extra note. Instead of just going, I was going, if you can hear the difference. So just one extra note I was throwing in there at the beginning. And then I decided, well, hang on, what if I, use the same riff, or the same lick, the same sequence of notes or pattern or whatever, and then I change the string I'm beginning it on each time. So instead of starting on the E string, now I start on the B string. And now I start on the G string. Now I start on the D string. So not only am I shifting down one semitone each time I do the pattern, but I'm also shifting one string adjacent each time, and it comes out with a little bit of a warped sound, but it's a useful sound because it's got tension pretty much no matter what's being played. It works over major, it works over minor, it works anywhere that you want to create that hanging out on the edge kind of sound. But of course, because it's a very predictable pattern, you're holding on to the control of what's going on, and it's pretty easy to manipulate so that you can start on whatever note you want to start on and end on whatever note you want to end on, because the slide that you do here, right, or it's just to give you an idea of the patterns. The slide, you can choose whether you go up or down with that slide, right? So you can choose the note that you want to start on, choose the note you want to end on. You just have to manipulate it in a controlled fashion as you go through it. Manipulate the slides that you do. So, you know, it comes out sounding pretty good, and whether you're using a clean tone and more of a jazz style thing, you know, it still works. It's just one of those universal kind of things. And of course, it's really, really working on my sweep picking because it's pure economy picking, pure sweep picking. There is no break from the sweep picking rules. Now, for those who don't know the sweep picking rules, the idea with sweep picking is that you want to minimize the amount of unnecessary pick movement. Okay, you want to keep it as economical as possible. So You would try to arrange the music so that you had odd numbers of notes on a string, if you where you could, and that would keep you going, you know, in one direction. And if you had to turn around, you would use only an even number of notes on that string. So if for example I was doing simple sweep picking, I would go, you know, down, 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 one note, odd number of notes per string. When I got to the string I wanted to turn on, I would do 2 notes. And that would have me automatically change direction. So I'd be going down, 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 up, 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 down, down, you know. So I'm really not doing unnecessary movement. And it allows you to do very, very fluid things. You know, sweep picking arpeggios are very, very common sort of sounding arpeggios. But this is a little different to that because it's not just doing, you know, up and down, up and down, up and down the fretboard. It's moving around a lot more. So once again, the whole thing. So, you know, you can pretty much work it in any way you want. Have a go at it, see how you go. It's a very, very straightforward thing, and it's open totally to your own interpretation. It's just an idea that I'm throwing out there to see what you come up with some twisted lines, you know, some really, really warped lines. The kind of lines that you just don't hear on a radio for very obvious reasons. Anyway, you'll take care, and I will see you next time.